youth get a lot of flack for being too bold, impetuous, and self-confident. But their power should not be underestimated. This rising demographic has the right, the skills, and the numbers to truly make a difference in government and society. According to the Commission on Elections, the youth sector, ages 18 to 29, make up more than one-third of registered voters for the 2019 midterm elections. Integrating the youth to the electoral process is vital for democracy to work. Efforts to educate and empower them with critical thinking can have a significant impact on the polls. On Profiles, we get into the minds of youth leaders behind the Tatak Botante voter education campaign, delving deeper into the issues that matter to them and their participation in nation building. Tatak Botante was launched in 2012 at the University of the Philippines, Diliman by the University Student Council, together with the Commission on Elections and other student and people's organizations. One of the Tatak Botante founders, 28-year-old youth leader, TV host, and entrepreneur Jules Giang, was inspired to come up with a campaign as a college student at UP, ahead of the 2016 presidential elections.
I was heading the Education and Research Committee of the Student Council. And coming from the public administration background, we were taught about good governance and citizen participation. So I thought of mainstreaming voter education kasi yun naman talaga yung pinakamahalaga na from the university level pa lang, talagang pinapalakas natin yung pagiging matalino, pagiging matalas sa pagsuri natin sa mga kandidato natin.
So how does the team work?
Voluntary siya from the very start. So from UP, from different colleges, we have young professionals, we have students, even senior highs.
That's nice to see that. And Danny, you joined for this election period. What drew you to join Tatak Botante?
It's kind of a personal responsibility for me. Kasi after I graduated, it was so hard to maintain the para sa bayan spirit in me kasi I'm working in a corporate world. So I wanted to still be involved. So I volunteered for Tatak Botante initially as just a supporting officer, and then I was promoted to project leader.
Through its voter education activities and a social critic of the country's electoral culture, Tatak Botante makes sure to apply three core values.
Talino, matalas, at malayang botante. Matalino, of course, we want to use our critical thinking. Matalas yung pagsusuri, yung pagsisiyasat mo mismo. And malaya na hindi mabibili yung boto mo. Kasi it's very tempting right now, especially in trying times, di ba?
Ano yung mga iba-ibang programa or activities nyo?
We have a Be Botante voter education campaign online. And then we also have the Anti-Apple campaign, which started out as a contest, so it's a photo essay contest, but right now we're turning it into a crowdsourcing initiative. We also have ang pagsusuri, which is a convocation of candidates. So we already had vice presidential convocation and senatorial convocation. So for this elections, we turned ang pagsusuri into an online platform to hopefully reach more people, so not just the youth.
There have been times that older generations have said younger generations, the millennials or even Z generation, apathetic daw sila, self-centered, lazy. What do you have to say to those claims?
I think hindi lang nabibigyan ng platform or opportunities. Kasi in our experience, ang daming interested talaga na talagang even may work sila, may studies sila, kaya nila yung pagsabay. You can even measure their siguro pagiging active sa social media kasi talagang maingay sila sa social media.
Danny, since you're very active with the social media activities, what do you think the youth are looking for? What are you learning from these conversations? Yung mga reactions nila or tanong nila?
They're very passionate din po for movement and change. For example, yung pag-remove ng scholarship for na red tag na students. So issues
Tuition
like
fees,
tuition fees, yes.
Every election period, Tatak Botante holds various nonpartisan activities to engage youth participation in agenda setting and nation building before and after elections. Voters' education events are typically held at schools, such as this one at De La Salle, Lipa.
Ano ang kahalagahan ng eleksyon or pagboto sa isang bansa tulad ng Pilipinas?
This voters education po talagang nakatulong siya. Alam mo kung paano ka pipili. Dapat pipili tayo kung ano yung plataforma nila, kung ano yung stand nila, at kung paano sila gagalaw po when nasa posisyon na po sila.
Ako po kasi non-voter. Ang natutunan ko po sa activity na ito, kahit po sa amin pong hindi pa po voters, ay meron pa rin kaming karapatan upang makialam at mag-engage sa ganitong mga klaseng movement. Yung campaigns po na run by the Tatak Botante is a great opportunity. Mas nagkakaroon pa ng malawak na pananaw sa mga nangyayari po sa lipunan.
Ang power ay nasa atin. Binibigyan lang natin sila ng pwesto para pamunuan tayo.
Napakahalaga ng voter education sa mga kabataan ngayon. Kailangan nating gabayan yung mga kabataan sa tamang pagboto. Ano ba yung mga kwalifikasyon na dapat sundin o hanapin ng mga bagong botante?
Young people want serious information as elections loom large. These youth leaders and the participation of their peers through the Tatak Botante activities show the youth are eager to share their views and want to hear more from government leaders on important issues the country faces, such as the war on drugs.
Lahat naman, unifying naman na talaga ayaw natin sa illegal drugs. Pero meron naman ibang pamamaraan siguro na mas legal. Diba sikat na sikat yung buzzword yung change ngayon eh. Let's give change a chance for those people na naligaw ng landas. Kasi poverty issue rin to eh. Nalulung sila doon kasi yun yung easy money siguro for them. We're not justifying their actions because it's wrong. Pero yun nga, mas palalimin siguro natin yung pagsuri doon sa problema na yun. Another thing is sa basic social services like the water crisis. Kami dito 24 hours, wala kaming tubig. Ito siguro yung mga issues na dapat din na pinag-uusapan ng mga candidates natin beyond their jingles and dancing and singing. Dapat pag-usapan ano yung solution nila dito sa mga problema na to.
Concern ko yung safe spaces for women and for everyone din. Very trivial yung admin natin ngayon. So I think it's influencing the people, how they look at women or how they respect people in general.
Hearing these young leaders speak their minds, it's evident that decision makers must meaningfully engage with the youth and acknowledge the importance of their voices, energy, and vision to a healthy democracy.
Anong klaseng leaders ang hinahanap niyo?
Yung mga talagang pure yung heart nila mag-serve sa country, hindi para sa sarili nila.
We need to equip our young voters if we want to create a better political landscape for our nation. Indeed, it takes a village. These passionate young leaders are trying to do just that through the Tatak Botante voter education campaign. The Tatak Botante team consists of members of the National Alliance of Youth Leaders, or NAIL, a nationwide group of young leaders working with various sectors for nation building and towards a more progressive community.
Our team right now is the third batch of Tatak Botante na. We have one events team and one social media team. This team are those na based sa Metro Manila na makakapag-mobilize sa mga events nga.
Ano yung nagmo-motivate sa inyo? Ba't kayo nag-join dito?
What really motivates me na i-push yung Tatak Botante is to really serve the country. So, nasa sa atin yung desisyon kung gusto talaga natin gumawa ng paraan para mabago tong Pilipinas.
Ikaw naman, Carly. Sa high school ka lang, no? Grade 10 ka lang.
There are a lot of Filipino people which is suffering from poverty, discrimination, and such. I'll always be motivated to pursue my passion towards leadership so that I can help them to uplift and alleviate.
Wow, good to see that in a high school student. Gerard.
Pag pupunta kasi ako sa school, lagi ko nakikita yung mga homeless people, yung mga bata hindi sila makapag-aral. I use my privilege to help other people and I want also to inspire them.
Way na lang din po namin na tumulong sa mga underprivileged nga na maging youth leader na kami po yung magiging voice nila.
As the elections draw near, particular issues matter more and more to them.
Women empowerment. Gusto ko din lumakas yung boses ng mga babae sa mga issues na kinaharap nila ngayon. I wanna help to end the rape culture talaga in the Philippines.
Very important. Carlo.
This 2019 national coming election, I'm still non-voter because I'm 15 years old. Still, I care because the youth has a huge contribution in electing the right and just leaders.
So, importante rin yun kasi even for non-voters, you can do something, right?
Yes.
If you're not a voter, what can you do?
One thing that I can do is that to educate those voters. They should know the background and platforms of those those candidates so that they will know on who is really eager to serve our fellow Filipino people.
Para may real change,
Yes.
ano? Alisa, ikaw naman.
And quality education din po. And yung unang-una rin po is mga poverty din po kasi.
So ngayon nga, parating ang midterm election. Anong klaseng leaders ang hinahanap niyo?
Yung mga talagang pure yung heart nila mag-serve sa country, hindi para sa sarili nila. I really wanna see yung change na sinasabi nila.
What specific change you really want to see?
Mabawasan yung injustice sa ating bansa. Napakalaki ng educational injustice sa ating bansa. Madami sa ating kabataan hindi nakakapag-aral, hindi nila ma-afford yung quality na education sa atin. Tapos number 2 is yun, sa women. Ang pangit ng narrative na ginagawa ng administrasyong ito para sa mga kababaihan. Na-oppress sila.
Culture of misogyny.
Yeah,
Yes.
sobrang objectified sila.
Gusto ko lang po kasi sa mga candidates, gagawin po talaga nila kung ano po yung mga plataforma po nila.
What's an important platform for you?
Anything about environment po.
Ang ganda siguro if yung 24 na senators natin is from 24 different sectors din para each one is represented, each one is may tumututok sa needs. If not possible na ganun nga na may sector representation, at least siguro na baba sila sa grassroots to actually ask and discover what they need. Officials are just representatives of the people. They should stand for what the people want.
Carlo, ikaw naman, anong masasabi mo sa current leadership natin at ano naman ang hinahanap nyo?
The inclusiveness wherein yung leaders po ay who are really eager to listen to everyone regardless of their religion, race, and such so that we can know on what really to address and able to attain genuine change.
These young leaders would also like to see changes in Filipino voting culture.
It's not a secret naman na rampant talaga ang vote buying. So, ang nangyayari sa poor communities is nagre-register sila as much as possible members na family. So, ganun din yung amount na makukuha nila. Why would you refuse the money naman if it's for your food? So, we want to encourage din kasi if they vote for the right people, those people could address their needs.
I think people should really compute nga kung worthy ba yung pera na yun. Magkano lang yun sa ilang taon nilang pagsisilbi, pangungurakot sa bayan. So, sana mabago yun na yung mindset na pag nakuha ko tong pera, parang short-term happiness lang kasi yung pera na yun. Yung sa family, the old tradition kasi is like, pag binoto ng parents mo, dapat iboboto mo rin. Kailangan din magbago na may openness sana na iba yung naranasan nila and iba yung naranasan ng mga younger generations.
Carlo, alam ko hindi ka pa magbo-vote. Ano yung mga nakikita mo, naisip mo? At least when you vote, gusto mo yung baguhin.
Yung kung sino po yung sikat, isa yun na lang po yung binoboto. Kasi yun lang po yung kilala. Wherein wala na po silang time to discover yung other candidates na kung ano po ba yung platforms nila, ano po ba yung background nila.
Kung may bias man, maging bias tayo for human rights, maging bias tayo for press freedom.
Choosing our government leaders can be a daunting and confusing process with so many choices. One of the most common reasons for failing to cast a ballot is a lack of information about the candidates and issues. Tatak Botante helps guide young voters, especially first-time ones. Here are a few tips.
Know your values. Yung values mo, ng families, ng organizations that you are a part of. From your values, tsaka mo i-compare sa mga candidates kung sinong candidates and party list ba yung mag-represent ng stands mo.
From my other organization, this is the 2030 Youth Force in the Philippines. We're advocating for the UN Sustainable Development Goals. It's a collection of 17 global goals. We're using the SDGs as a measurement para makita natin ano ba ang ginagawa ni candidate A sa no poverty, sa zero hunger, sa good health and well-being, sa quality education, etc. So it's 17. So imagine if all our voters have the capacity, aralin nila yung platforms at yung mga pronouncements sa mga candidates natin. So mas magiging matalino yung pagboto natin.
Tama.
In these times of rampant misinformation and so-called fake news, Danny and Jules have some tips to avoid falling victim to them.
make it a practice to read and verify the sources.
Ang nakakatakot kasi nga weaponized na ang social media. Pero tingin ko, matatapos siya kung titigil yung mga users na i-share to or i-consume tong content na to. We need to be smarter kung ano yung content na babasahin natin. And kung babasa man tayo ng content, huwag tayong sa isang source lang. We need to consider other sources as well. And then at the end of the day, we decide on our own.
We should always engage in conversation. So if you see this fake news online, you should inform them na this is not true. Check other more reliable sources.
Out of about 60 million voters registered for the 2019 elections, 2 million of them are voting for the first time, and this can be a daunting task. So Danny will show me the voter's manual that Tatak Botante created to help navigate through the voting process.
This is a manual that was developed in 2013, the first Tatak Botante. So it was updated in 2016, and our team will update it again this 2019
So work in
elections.
progress siya,
Yes.
no?
This manual is divided into 4 parts. First part, we have the basic information, who can vote, where you can vote. Second part will be political education. So included din dito yung details ng elections, time and the day, opening and the closing of the precincts. And then the website where you could find the precinct number. So that's in the COMELEC website. Included din sa COMELEC website are the list of candidates. To sum it up, in the whole Philippines will be electing more than 18,000 officials this elections. You can undervote, pero you can never overvote. So reminder lang na for party list, 1 lang. And then for senators, 12. Choose those na gusto mo even though hindi mag-12. When shading din, kailangan i-shade fully para hindi siya ma-reject ng ballot. It's very confidential, so we're not allowed to take photos.
No selfies.
No selfies with the yung ballot natin.
Every vote will make a difference. So when casting your vote, keep in mind this message from Tatak Botante.
Ngayong eleksyon, maging matalino, matalas at malaya.
Young people wield great power in sparking social change. These youth leaders share some thoughts on their role as citizens beyond voting.
After election, dapat patuloy nating sinusuri yung kandidato natin. Dapat i-held natin sila accountable sa mga promises na ginawa nila.
Dapat tayo rin mismo, tayo rin yung tumutulong at gumagawa para masuportahan yung kung sino man yung mauupo na mga kandidato.
I think it's important talaga yung to work together. Hindi lang porket sila yung naluklok dun sa posisyon na yun, sila lang yung kikilos. Tayo rin, may parte rin tayo sa pag-unlad ng bayan. Kaya dapat tayo rin nakikiisa tayo sa pag-angat ng bayan.
Such burning passion, idealism, and hope for a better country is refreshing. But even in their tender years, these youth leaders face many challenges in keeping the faith and their advocacies going.
There are times na parati talaga na ang hirap-hirap mahalin ng Pilipinas. Hindi natututo ang mga Pilipino. Pero at that time, at those trying moments na sobrang frustrating, doon ko lalo na-feel na yung need to help people. At times nga yun, sa mga trolls sa social media, you need to take a part in informing the misinformed.
From my end, this is my favorite quote from Dito Sarmiento, the EIC of Philippine Collegian before during the martial law time. Sabi niya, kung hindi tayo kikibo, sinong kikibo? Kung hindi tayo kikilo, sinong kikilos? Kung hindi ngayon, kailan pa? So, it's a responsibility for all students of state universities, not just UP, to give back. At pag sinasabi natin na mag-give back tayo, hindi tayo mag-give back sa government or sa mga nakaupo kasi kailangan din maging malinaw na hindi tayo pinag-aral ng mga nakaupo ngayon. Pinag-aral tayo ng taong bayan.
Jules has these wise words for government leaders, other future leaders, and voters on giving back and bringing about change for the better.
Kung may bias man, maging bias tayo for human rights, maging bias tayo for press freedom, maging bias tayo sa mas maayos na pamamahala mismo.
These young leaders are determined to keep the spirit of people power alive through the tools of their generation, using innovative ways to draw others into civic engagement.
It's very convenient right now because in just one click, you can mobilize people. Use social media for social good. In a time when social media is weaponized for propaganda, gamitin natin tong social media para makapag-unite at makapag-pakilos ng mga tao.
And when the officials or the admin still don't want to listen, the movements like Tatak Botante and other groups create networks. We join forces to make louder voices so para mas marinig nila kung ayaw man nilang pansinin.
They're steadfast in their convictions, speaking their minds to fight for what they believe in and give a voice to those who cannot speak. The youth have the potential to significantly impact the outcome of elections. Strategies that encourage their participation can help further their influence. Movements such as Tatak Botante are crucial in giving our future leaders a platform to be heard, to be part of a larger movement for the country, to bring forth great changes, and build up the sort of nation we all yearn for.